Dear students, I wish a warm welcome to online classes DEO Nalgonda. Students, as part of our SSC syllabus, we have started with chapter 8 heredity in the last session. Students, in the last session, as part of our chapter heredity, I have explained the several topics. I hope that all of you have practiced the topics which I have explained in the earlier class. Students, what we have discussed, please once you recap, recall your topics which you have discussed in the earlier class. Okay, one by one. Students, we have discussed the concept of heredity and variations with examples, and also we have introduced the scientist, father of genetics, that is Gregor John Mendel, and why Gregor John Mendel has conducted his experiments on pea plant, why he had chosen the pea plant Pisum sativum as his experimental material, and also we have discussed in the earlier class about the concepts of genetic terminology, the definition of gene, the definition of allele, and also the phenotype and genotype. What do you mean by homozygous, heterozygous, and we have discussed all this. In addition to this, we have also explained about the reasons why the Mendel had chosen Pisum sativum as his experimental material, and what are the seven traits he has taken for his experiment. We have discussed all these, students. Today we are going to concentrate with the experiments of Gregor John Mendel in his monastery. Actually, what are the experiments he has conducted and what he explained on his experimental basis. And he explained the two laws, that is law of dominance and also law of segregation, based on his experiment. That experiment we are calling it as a monohybrid cross. So here in this session we are going to discuss with monohybrid cross and the results of monohybrid cross, that is law of dominance and law of purity of gametes or law of segregation. Students, all the students are requested, please keep your textbook in front of you and also notes, and whatever the important points we are being explained, please note them in your notebook. Students, before starting our session, that is about the monohybrid cross, you should have an idea about the cross pollination. Students, I have already explained what you mean by pollination. Pollination means the process of transfer of pollen grains from anther to stigma is called as pollination. You are very clear. Then what do you mean by self pollination? What do you mean by cross pollination? Self pollination means if the process of transfer of pollen grains takes place from the flower to the other flower of the same plant is called as commonly we are calling it as a self pollination. And if you take cross pollination, the transfer of pollen grains from anther to stigma of the flower of another plant is commonly called as a cross pollination. Here, before starting the experiments by Gregor John Mendel, he he removed the anthers of the flower. For example, you see here, he removed, this is the flower, and he removed the anthers of this flower which are present in the bud. Once the anthers are removed, now what is present here? Stigma. Stigma is part of what? Gynoecium. So in this stigma what are present? Ovules. Now this stigma without anther is dusted on the flower of the another plant which consists of anthers. Now what happens when the stigma is dusted from this stigma, the ovules are fused with these pollen grains, and there may be fusion of ovules and pollen grains together, and this is commonly called as a cross pollination. So like that, this Gregor Mendel has conducted crosses between the anthers, between the plants, by removing the anthers and dusting the stigma with the pollen of another plant. So like that, this was the cross pollination which was conducted by Gregor John Mendel. And here in his experiment, while he has started his experiment, Gregor John Mendel has taken single trait. Actually, he had chosen how many traits? 7 traits. Students, what are the 7 characters he had chosen? One is color of the seed, one is shape of the seed, one is length of the stem, one is color of the pod, and other one is that is shape of the pod, and that is the other one is position of the flower. Like that, he had chosen 7 traits. So in his experiment, he has taken single trait. He has taken single trait, and for every single trait he conducted his experiments. If he conducted his experiments on single trait, such type of cross is called as a monohybrid cross. So Mendel has started his experiments by taking only single trait, and if he is taking the single trait in his experiment, such type of cross, we are calling it as a monohybrid cross. Monohybrid cross means the there is a cross between the parents by taking only one single trait. That cross we are calling it as a monohybrid cross. So like that, Gregor John Mendel has extended his experiments for every character. For all the 7 characters individually, he has conducted his experiments, and he prepared his results in a detailed paper, and that paper he has submitted to Society of Brunn. So now you are very clear what is monohybrid cross. Mono means single, hybrid means the daughter organism which is produced by the fusion of male parent and female parent. The like that, we can say the hybrid is produced by the fusion of male and female parent by taking single trait, is commonly called as a monohybrid cross. Students, now you are very clear what you mean by monohybrid cross. So next, before, actually he has chosen 7 traits, but here he has taken only one trait for his experiments. For example, here I am giving 3 traits. One is color of the seed. Color of the seed is the character which is having one is yellow and other one is green. The yellow may be homozygous yellow, and the yellow may be homozygous green, and the allele may be heterozygous yellow. See here, I am giving here color of the seed, yellow color seed and green color seed. So yellow color seed is having 2 alleles. I've already explained what is an allele. Alternative forms of gene is called allele. So here this is there are 2 alleles for yellow color. They are similar. That's why we are calling it as homozygous. And there are 2 alleles for green color, and they are said to be as homozygous green. This is the homozygous green, and this is one allele is yellow and other allele is green. That's why it is called as heterozygous. So that is about the color of the seed. And example, one more trait, that is shape of the seed, that is round and wrinkled. So round is having 2 alleles, that is capillor, as they are similar. That's why we are calling it as homozygous round. And smaller, that is homozygous wrinkled. One is capillor and other one is smaller, that is commonly called heterozygous, and we are calling it as a round. Here one more trait we can take an example is length of the stem, that is tall and dwarf. So tall, capital T, that is homozygous tall, small t, that is homozygous dwarf, and capital T, small t. Students, I have already explained homozygous, heterozygous, alleles very clearly in the last class. So here I am giving three examples of traits, but here the Gregor Mendel has taken single trait for his experiment to explain very clearly. So here in this monohybrid cross we are concentrating on only the color of the seed. So by taking color of the seed he has explained very clearly. Students, now you are very clear what are the traits and what are the alleles, what is homozygous, what is heterozygous, and we have discussed all this. So what is an allele? So next here Gregor Mendel has started his experiment by taking uh, homozygous yellow seed, homozygous yellow seed with homozygous green seeds. So that is one homozygous yellow seed is the male and homozygous green is the female. Now this generation is commonly called as a parental generation, or we can also call it as a P generation. What is the first generation? P generation or parental generation, that is a male homozygous yellow, female homozygous green. So here what is the trait he has chosen? Color of the seed. Very good. What is a homozygous yellow and other one is homozygous green. And that these parental generation is said to be pure homozygous yellow seed and pure homozygous green seeds, and that parents are said to be as pure parents which are produced by continuous breedings. Now this first generation, when there is a cross between the parental generation, after crossing the two varieties in the P generation, Mendel observed the offsprings that resulted from this cross. Now this resulted offsprings or progeny is called as F1 generation or filial generation. Students, you are very clear, when the male parent crosses with female parent with two different varieties, that is homozygous yellow and homozygous green, and that generation is called as parental generation. Now these parental generation after crossing produced the daughter generation, or we can also call it as F1, or we can also call it as a filial or progeny or offspring or daughter. These are all similar words we can use in the term of genetics. I have already explained in the last class. And here when Mendel examined, after examining the F1 filial generation, he found out that they are expressing only one of the phenotype present in the parental generation. So here he what he observed in the F1 generation, in the F1 generation he observed that only one phenotypic character from the parental generation. So that is here, and he observed that in the F1 generation all the seeds were yellow, and according to his experiment, what he examined in the F1 generation, he examined that F1 of this cross, and only one allele is expressing as a phenotypic character. And after observing the F1 generation, he collected the seeds of the F1 generation and he planted in the soil, and these these seeds have germinated and they develop into plants. Now these plants are self-fertilized, and they produced the next generation, that is called as F2 generation. Now in this F2 generation, what he has got results, what he has observed, he observed that in the F2 generation all the traits have that is yellow color traits as well as green color traits as observed. So by this you are very clear what was the experiment and what is parental generation, what is filial generation, and what is homozygous and what is heterozygous. You are very clear. So Mendel self-pollinated even F2 generation also, and he got F3 generation. Like that, this Mendel has conducted his experiments for all the seven traits. All the seven traits he has conducted experiments. But in your textbook, uh, they have given example for only taking that single trait. We are saying yellow color, but here I am explaining the other traits also. One is shape of the seed and other one is length of the stem. Now here in the results, what he observed, 25% of pea plants gave yellow seeds and 25% are green seeds, and remaining 50% are completely heterozygous seeds in which both yellow and green are present, but the yellow color is dominant. And after conducting his experiments, Mendel has made some assumptions. What do you mean by assumption, student? Assumption means prediction or imagination. Gregor John Mendel has imaginated without proving. He has made some predictions, and that predictions we are going to discuss. What was his first assumption? After conducting his experiments, he had made some conclusions. After observing his results, what were his conclusions? What were his assumptions? What was the first assumption? The first assumption is what is the first assumption of Gregor Mendel after conducting his experiments? After observing his results, he predicted that, he observed that, he assumed that every pre-plant has two genetic factors. I have already told the students, every plant has a completely two factors. The two factors we are calling them as a alleles and responsible for producing a particular trait. For every trait, how many alleles are there? Two factors. That factors we are also calling it as alleles. For example, you see here, for yellow color, how many alleles are there? Two alleles, capital Y, capital Y. Where these alleles are present, students? Very good. On the chromosome. What do we call the site where these alleles are present on the chromosome? Locus. What do we call? Locus. And there is another parent with green color of the same type. It is also having how many alleles? Two factors. The factors are also called as alleles. So here, what was his first assumption? He said that every trait or character is compulsory having how many factors? Two factors. What he called the two factors? The two factors he called them as alleles. So now you are very clear. So for every single trait, for every particular trait, there are two factors, there are two alleles on the chromosome. This was the first assumption, students. And what was the second assumption? Second assumption is during reproduction, when this male organism with pure yellow color seeds crosses with female organism, that is plant with green color seeds, the reproduction, the during the process of the crossing or reproduction, what happens? One factor from each parent. For example, you see here. So this is the yellow color and this is the green color. So this is the male parent and this is the female parent. During the process of reproduction, what is happening? One factor from each parent. How many alleles are present? Two alleles. From these two alleles, only one factor will form, one factor from one parent and another factor from another parent. Now both of these fused together and they will form into a new pair. So now this new pair is commonly called as a progeny, or we can also call it as a daughter organism, or we can also call it as an offspring. So now capital Y, small y. So now this is said to be as a heterozygous. What do we call this? Heterozygous. Why? Because we are calling it as heterozygous, because one is capital Y, one allele, and another one is small y, another allele from the female parent. There are two different alleles So that's why it is called as commonly heterozygous. And during the process of reproduction, one factor from each parent is taken and forming into a new pair. Now this new pair is commonly called as a progeny. So this is the second assumption, students. And what was his third assumption? What he said, one of these always dominate the other if mixed together. So what is happening here? The two factors are mixing. See, one factor is from male parent and one factor is from female parent. When these two factors are mixing, what is happening? One of these always dominates the others. One factor is dominating the other factor, and this factor which is dominating in F1 generation is called as dominant allele, and the other factor which is not expressed, which is completely suppressed, that is called as a recessive allele. So now we can say in capital capital Y is a dominating factor and small y is a recessive factor. Then these pea seeds will be always yellow in color. So like that, in the F1 generation, all the seeds which are produced are completely yellow in color. So these were the three assumptions he has concluded by observing his results. And when you see the examples, whatever the results he has obtained, that results he explained very clearly with the help of a uh, special device called as Punnett square, or we can also call it as checkerboard checkerboard or Punnett square. Students, the results the results of Gregor John Mendel experiments which were predicted, and that results were explained with phenotypic and genotypic ratios of progeny with the help of a checkerboard or Punnett square. So there was a scientist called as that is Reginald C. Punnett. So he was a famous genetist. What do you mean by genetist, students? The scientist or the person who deals with the study of genetics, that is heredity and variations, is called as a genetist. So this Reginald C. Punnett is a famous English genetist, and he was the first scientist who prepared this Punnett square or checkerboard. What was its use? This Punnett square or checkerboard is used to explain the results like phenotypic ratios and genotypic ratios by using this method. Actually, what is Punnett square, students? So Punnett square is commonly constructed by a drawing a grid. So once you see by drawing a grid, so once you see this, so this is the grid according to this Punnett. So this is the grid. On the top side, on the upper edge, we are keeping the female parent, and in the left side, on the left side, we are keeping the male parent and their gametes. The female gametes are present on the upper side of the grid, and the male parent gametes are present on the left side of the grid. And here, putting the gametes produced by on the upper edge and the gametes produced on the left side. And here it consists of cells or blocks within the Punnett, contains allele from each of the corresponding gametes. So like that, here. So this is the squares or blocks. These squares or blocks are completely having these gametes from both male parents and female parents. For example, you see here, this is the female parent which is having two gametes, and this is the male parent which is having two gametes. So now on the left side, the male parent gametes are present. On the left side, the male gametes are present, and the right side, female gametes are present. Now both of these fused. So capital Y from the male parent and small y from the female parent. Capital Y from the male parent, small y from the female parent. Capital Y from the male parent, small y from the female parent. Capital Y from the male parent, small y from the female parent. All these fused together, and they produce the, means in the squares what you are observing, in these squares or blocks. What you are observing, students? In these blocks, you are observing the four daughter organisms which are heterozygous in condition. So now by these all the pea plants in F1 generation are completely yellow. So by this we can say, means by the experiments which he has explained, that experiments we are showing in the form of a Punnett square which was constructed by Reginald C. Punnett. Is an English genetist. So like that we can say Punnett square is used in case of genetics to predict out the results of genetic experiments. And the traits expressed in F1 generation, what are the traits in the F1 generation? One is dominant, and the other one which is not expressed, that is the recessive. So when you come to the monohybrid cross experiments, now you see in detail. See here, when the male parent homozygous yellow is crossed with the female parent with homozygous green, that is generation is called what? P generation. Now this homozygous yellow, that is capital Y crossed with small y, that is yellow with green when it is crossed. Now according to the second assumption, what you will expect, students? So from the homozygous yellow, one gamete is produced. One gamete is produced, and this is this capital Y. Another gamete is produced from the female, that is small y, and both of them fuse it together. Two alleles. So now you are very clear. Two alleles in each plant separated, and the gametes together, the fusion of gametes takes place and results in formation of the F1 generation, that is capital Y, small y. So Mendel called it as a filial generation or first one, that is first generation, and these gametes fuse to produce heterozygous, and all these seeds are yellow seeds. Now in the next step, what he has done, all the yellow color seeds which were produced in the F1 generation as self-fertilized, that is capital Y small y, capital Y small y, and the gametes are forming here. So the from each pair of allele, one allele is formed as a gamete. So that is capital Y small y, capital Y small y. When these gametes are fused together, now it produces the offsprings or progeny in the F2 generation. Now in this F2 generation, and two daughter plants are homozygous and two daughter plants are heterozygous, and one homozygous yellow and one homozygous green, which is having actional character yellow and green, and other one is heterozygous, that is capital Y small y, capital Y small y. So with this we can say homozygous yellow is 25% and homozygous green is 25%, and heterozygous yellow is completely 50%. In that, one is 25%, another one is 25%. So you are very clear, students. So here Gregor John Mendel, after conducting his experiments, after making his assumptions, he has explained very clearly. So now this experiment we have to explain with the help of Punnett square. See here. So one is capital Y and other one is small y. This is F2 generation. Now we are going to discuss with F2 generation daughter plants in the form of a Punnett square. By using Punnett square, we are explaining this female parent crosses with male parent with heterozygous condition. So now capital Y, that is yellow, capital Y small y, that is genotypic yellow, capital Y small y, that is genotypic yellow, and next one is small y, that is homozygous green. So with this, in the F2 generation, when you see in externally, we can say this is yellow in color, this is yellow in color, this is yellow, all these three are yellow and one is green. So this ratio is called as phenotypic ratio is called as commonly 75%, 25%. We are calling it as a 3:1. Whereas in case of genotypes, two are genotypes here, and this is two are genotypes, and one is completely homozygous yellow and one is completely homozygous green, and now this ratio is called as a genotypic ratio, and this genotypic ratio is called as 1 is to 2 is to 1. And most of the times this Punnett square diagram is giving for your exams in your summative assessments. And students, after conducting his experiments on monohybrid cross, this Gregor John Mendel has explained two important laws. One law is called as law of dominance, and other law is called as law of segregation. And he didn't stop with only one trait. This Gregor John Mendel has also conducted his experiments by taking two traits. If if the two traits are taken for his experiment, such type of cross is called as dihybrid cross. And on the basis of dihybrid cross, he explained another law. That law is called as law of independent assortment. So based on monohybrid cross, this Gregor John Mendel has explained two important laws. One law is called law of dominance, and other law is called as law of segregation. Segregation means separation. So what are that laws? We are going to discuss in detail now. So here, after conducting his experiments, this Gregor Mendel, the conclusions that Mendel has developed about the inheritance from his monohybrid cross, and he explained two important laws. One is called as law of dominance, and other one is principle of segregation, or we can also call it law of segregation or separation. So what is law of dominance, students? When two different alleles or factors for a character. So just before I explained, so from each parent there are two alleles, and from each parent one gamete is formed, and these two alleles, when they crossed in the F1 generation, the heterozygous offspring will be produced, and in that heterozygous one factor is always dominating the other, and this law is commonly called as a law of dominance, and the other factor is always recessive, and this type of law we are calling it as a law of dominance. Students, it is very important for 2 marks question. What is law of dominance? Based on which hybrid cross Gregor Mendel has proposed this law of dominance? They are asking for 2 marks question. So very simple. There are two alleles for each trait. From each allele there is one factor, and these two factors are combined and produced the F1 generation, and this F1 generation is having heterozygous condition in which one factor is always dominating the other factor. This law we are calling it as a law of dominance, and the next law is called law of segregation, or we can also call the law of purity of gametes. After conducting his results, Gregor Mendel has explained another law based on monohybrid cross, that is called as segregation, separation. So what this law states, what this law explains, this principle of segregation explains that an individual organism possesses two alleles, and these two alleles are commonly coding for a trait, and these alleles separate during the gamete formation, and as this process of separation of gametes is commonly called as a law of segregation or principle of separation, and this is also called as law of purity of gametes. There is a purity in the formation of gametes, and here there is the two alleles are not mixing. That's why we can also call it as law of non-mixing of alleles. There is another name. The another name is non-mixing of alleles. So students, now you are very clear. Law of segregation is also called law of purity of gametes. It is also called principle of separation, or we can also call it as law of non-mixing of alleles. Means during the formation of gametes, the alleles from each parent will be separated and forms into a gametes, and this process of formation of gametes separately from the two alleles is commonly called as a law of segregation. Students, and this Mendel, Gregor John Mendel, has not stopped with taking only single trait. Further, he extended his experiments by taking two traits. He has taken two traits and he started conducting his experiments. If the two traits he has taken, that is commonly called as dihybrid cross. Di means two, and the hybrid is produced by crossing the two parent plants with two characters. One is here you see, in case of Pisum sativum, he has taken color of the seed. He has taken color of the seed. One is commonly one is yellow and green. Here, in case of dihybrid cross, this Gregor Mendel has taken round and yellow seeds. Round and yellow seeds means here one is a color and one is shape. One is shape and other one is color. Shape is what? Round shape. What is the color? Yellow color. And another parent plant, the shape is wrinkle shape and the color is green. So like that, he has taken two traits and he crossed the two traits of the parents and he produced the hybrids. Such type of cross we are calling it as a dihybrid cross. Students, these dihybrid cross, based on the dihybrid cross, after conducting the experiments, whatever the results he obtained, after obtaining his results, here also he generated one more important law. This law is known as law of independent assortment. Law of independent assortment is developed based on the experience of dihybrid cross by taking two traits. What are the two traits he has taken, students? One is that is shape of the seed and one is color of the seed. So the shape of the seed is here round, color of the seed is yellow, and here in another plant what is the shape of the seed? Wrinkle. What is the color of the seed? Green. So now these round and yellow color seeds crossed with wrinkled and green seeds, and the gametes are produced and they fertilized together and they produced in the first generation all round and yellow seeds. When these all round and yellow seeds are self fertilized in the F2 generation, they produce the different types of offsprings and progenies with all the characters. Students, this dihybrid cross is not up to your syllabus, and you are going to concentrate with this dihybrid cross and results in your further studies. Students, you have to practice this dihybrid cross and monohybrid cross by reading the textbook. And also one more important request is, in your textbook they have given an activity for Mendel's monohybrid cross. Students, you take this an activity as project work. Please complete this project work at your home by discussing with your friends, and you have to explain this activity in your classroom in the next forthcoming classes. Students, I hope that you are very clear what was the experiment which was conducted by the John Gregor Mendel, that is monohybrid cross, and what were the results he has obtained, what were the results he obtained by his observation he has submitted to the Society of Brunn, which was not clearly accepted by the scientists during his lifetime. After his death, the other scientists like Chermark, Hugo de Vries, and Correns rediscovered his laws, and after his death during the 19th century, his work was not identified, and his work was identified only after his death. And further, the other scientists are commonly called as rediscoverers of Gregor Mendel laws. Students, I hope that you are very clear, and I am requesting all the students, please read the textbook thoroughly for several times for clear understanding. Every concept I have explained very clearly in this session, and you keep on writing several times. Without writing, you may not get uh, very easily. That's why you keep on practicing reading the textbook, and you keep on writing the notes, and many times, more than at least 20 times you will write, as this is the fundamental for your higher studies, students. And here I am giving some assignment for your homework. Please complete this homework at your home. So what is the assignment I am giving here? Explain monohybrid cross with an example. This is important for 4 marks question in your summative assessment. And also describe the laws of inheritance. One is law of dominance, one is the law of segregation. You have to explain very clearly. That is also important for 4 marks question. And why the Mendel had chosen pea plant for his experiment. You have tried the reasons. Because of the pea plant is having the characters like it is an animal plant, it is having diversified characters, and it can prefer self pollination as well as cross pollination. You can write these points, students. And one more important question here is you have to explain this monohybrid cross by using the checkerboard. What is the other name for checkerboard? Very good, Punnett square. So you have to explain, students. And after that you conduct an activity that is based on monohybrid cross. In your textbook they are given the experimental material is here. One is red colored buttons and other one is green color buttons. You can take the buttons and you prepare the grid. Just before I explain how to prepare the Punnett square. And please conduct this activity by reading the textbook, students. Not only this, as part of this 2 marks and 4 marks, now I am giving also here some blanks. The process of acquiring character is called, there is an alternative form of genes. And there is one more blank which explains about the phenotypic character and genotypic character. Students, I hope that you have very clearly understood this concept of heredity and variations. Students, in this session, uh, what you understood, I hope that you understood the Mendel's experiments and what is his results and what were his laws, law of dominance and law of segregation or law of purity of gametes. And the law of dominance is also extended further with another experiment called as dihybrid cross. He explained the dihybrid cross by taking two traits which we are going to study in the further sessions. Students, uh, every student is requested, please complete this work. And in the next session, we are going to discuss with the another topic called as sex determination. And what is the how these traits are being transferred from parental generation to daughter generation. What are the causes, what are the reasons, what is the uh, concept behind that, and what is the material behind that that is responsible for transfer of traits from generation to generation, and what is sex determination, we are going to discuss in the next sessions. Students, till that session, I hope that you are going on practicing this 2 sessions of this chapter. And in the next sessions we will meet, students. Thank you. Thank you, students.